Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Impact Gaming Center. We are live and in living color with our Modern RCQ 1K. We got Jake on Boros and Taxes and Ben on Boros Energy. Both players are 3-0. We got a Ragavan from Ben and a Surveil Land on Jake's side. Attack with Ragavan down to 18. There's an Ajani, which will bring a kitty cat friend with him. So Ben off to a blistering hot start here in the early goings of game one. Going to play the flip land and cast Solitude from his hand, exiling his favorite card in this deck, Leonin Arbiter. So Boros and Taxes, we've got things like Leonin Arbiter, Felia, Recruiter of the Guard, Skyclave Apparition, Stoneforge Mystic, Sword of Fire and Ice, White Orchid Phantasm, and Witch Enchanter, which is the land. But back to Ben. Ghost Quarter for the exiled card. Down to 14 goes Jake off the attack. Gonna play another Enchanter land. Has White Orchid, Phantom, Galvanic Iteration. Gonna take that down. And Ben gets a basic mountain off the White Orchid Phantom trigger. And back to Ben. Ben's Boros Energy is the more aggro version. Playing 4 Lightning Bolts. Ragavan you've already seen. And Goblin Bombardment is kind of the back-end finisher. Of course, Flage is here, a Johnny. Amped Raptor, you know. Down to 10 goes Jake. Gonna play a Ghost Quarter. And Jake is desperately under the gun at this point. Jake's deck really, really good whenever he's playing ahead. When he's playing Leonin Arbiters and Ghost Quartering their lands away. Loving it. Jake gonna get Recruiter of the Guard onto the battlefield. We're gonna take a look, flip through our deck, and select a creature with power or toughness 2 or less. I believe that was Skyclave Apparition in the death zone, the blind spot right there. And it was Skyclave. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Thank you all so much for joining us today. If there is a deck you would like to see today, let us know in the Twitch chat. Or if there's decks you want to see in later YouTube videos, let me know. I'll try and get them on camera for you. Two Nadu players in the room. We've got 37 Modern players here at our RCQ. $1,000 cash, and of course the invite, the promo token, not tokens, the promo cards. Recruiter of the Guard going to block here with the Ragavan. And the Ragavan and the Recruiter will trade down to 8 for Jake. Always refer to the player's life totals. Here's a Blood Moon. Secret Lair Blood Moon. Pretty good on this board. Jake just has mountains. Jake says go. Ether Hub, which is a mountain. There is Jingatha. Down to 6. Solitude gonna come in. Jake needs to draw a plains. Well, that's a mountain for all intents and purposes. Down to 4. Is this cat going to get there? Well, there's a solitude drawn, so Jake going to stem the bleeding a little bit, at least for now. Up to 25 goes Ben. And there's an Ocelot Pride, which will bring a kitty cat friend along with it. And Jake going to call it. Game 1 going to go to Ben. Like I said, Ben had a blistering start. Holy smokes. Thank you all so much. I'm Les Alex. We got Jake and Ben in the feature match area. We've got 2 rounds after this, but of course, we might have 2 more games. Jake going to be on the play. Let's take a look. I do have deck lists right here, so let's take a look and see what we can see. We got Bone Crusher Giant. This is Boros Energy. This is Ben's deck. We got Harsh Mentor, Sun Cleanser, Celestial Purge. Celestial Purge might be a nice card for him. Rending Volley, Damping Sphere, Soul Guide Lantern, and Chain to the Rocks. I could see Chain to the Rocks. I could see Celestial Purge. Bone Crusher might also be good. These matchups kind of get a little grindy. Let's take a look, though, at Jake's. We got a Batterskull. Might be pretty good. Might be pretty good, Batterskull. Containment Priest, Dranith Magistrate, Harsh Mentor, Loran of the Third Path, Magus of the Moon, Phyrexian Revoker, Sanctifier, Invec, and 1 Sun Cleanser. So Sun Cleanser for sure going to be coming in here for Jake. Could also see Harsh Mentor and Batterskull. You can make an argument for quite a few of these cards. Red Black Necro? If I see Red Black Necro, Big Cam, I will try and get it. I just haven't seen it. We got Mono Black Necro in today's tournament. A couple of them, actually. Alrighty. Both these players are locals, and as you can see, Ben is Team Impact. He's wearing the shirt, the little 3/4 zip, really nice. All right, there's 7 cards. Ben gonna draw. Jake gonna draw. Hopefully we got 7 sensational cards. And we do. So planes go. Ben gonna shock in a beautiful Sacred Foundry and a Soul Guide. Guide of Souls. Ooh. There's a Knight. Gonna blow up the Sacred Foundry and make Ben go get a basic. I believe that is a plains. But yeah, if you are in the area, we've got people gaming. We are located at 49 Ludwig Drive in the fantastic Fairview Heights. So if you're in the St. Louis or Metro East area, come on out. If you're in the Midwest, you should come up. We've got 22,000 square feet of gaming facility. Gaming center, you might say. Lightning Bolt going to take down the Orchid. Down to 18 goes Jake. Inspiring Vantage. We got a Solitude inbound. Gonna pitch the Ephemerate, but then Ephemerate, so both of those are gone. Ben will go to 21, but now Jake has a Solitude. But yeah, shout out to all 37 players that came up and are doing battle here today. $1,000 in cash and prizes, along with the chance to play in the RC and the promos, of course. Ephemerate, no target. Get in there. Down to 18. Got a life swap. Recruiter the guard going to enter. Let's see. What are we going to get? Maybe a Stoneforge Mystic. And Ben is up a game, folks. And I do believe that is a Stoneforge Mystic. Amped Raptor for Ben. Get some energy. And there's a Blood Moon. And Ben deciding whether he wants to cast it, and he elects to do so. Blood Moon not as good when you're behind on board, I will say that. Here's Stoneforge. Probably going to get a Cauldron Complete. Maybe a sword. Believe that was a sword. Yeah. Sword of Fire and Ice for Jake. And down to 18 goes Jake. 18 all. Tapping 3 mana. What do we got here? There's a Flage. Probably taken down. Yep. Stoneforge Mystic. Ben will go up to 21. Back to 21, in fact. Gonna get in there. Drop Ben to 17. Jake goes back to 21. And plays a Giver of Runes. And then a sword. That makes sense. A lot of Boros decks in the room today. As it turns out, got a lot of good cards from Modern Horizons 3. Static Prison going to come in, make an energy or two, and take care of the sword. Ghost Quarter for Jake. And we're bashing. Amped Raptor going to be on block duty. Giver of Runes. But Pro Red, I think Ben may have forgot about the Pro Red. That could potentially be given from the Giver. And here is Batterskull with the legendary Ampharos Pokemon card as the Germ token. All right, here is Fable of the Mirror Breaker for Ben. That'll generate a Goblin Shaman and a pass back. This Batterskull probably going to, well, potentially be able to close this one out fairly quickly. So no attack with the recruiter. Down to 9, up to 31 for Jake. Four mana. I'm going to keep that Static Prism around. Ben is in the thick of it right now. Here's another Static Prison. Could tag either the Batter Skull or the Germ. I mean, you could get anything, right? But got to be mindful of the giver. Rightfully chooses the Batter Skull. Giver runes can't give the artifact equipment protection, which effectively gets rid of the Germ as well. Block, protection from red. Ben just trying to generate a treasure, which makes a Johnny and puts a Kitty Cat on the battlefield. Whew. Flage, a good one. Takes care of a Johnny. And Jake's going to send the team. Down to 3, up to 37. Ben's got to decide here if he wants to keep these around. Looks like he does. That is a monkey. Ragavan dashed in. Gonna attack. Down to 35. All right, that's going to do it. Ben going to scoop it up here. All righty, so we will have a game number 3 here for you, folks. Game number 3. All righty, let's kick it back to me. Thank you all so much again. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on content like this. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, though, head on over to Twitch, follow us. We stream every Friday without fail, unless it's a pre-release night. And even still, we might start streaming Modern. But, yeah, thank you all so much. We got Ben and Jake here going to Game 3. Ben will be on the play, and we saw what happened Game 1. Had a pretty awesome start. But, yeah, looks like Ben's going to check out his sideboard Jake going to do the same. Guess I'll look at their sideboards too. But yeah, game 3. Really exciting. Make sure you go check out impactgamingcenter.gg for all your Magic the Gathering and tabletop gaming needs. Very exciting game number 3 here. Jake, the always brewing up the spiciest decks, always doing pretty well as well. So let's reset these life totals, though. We got 2 more rounds of action, and then we've got a top 8. So don't go anywhere. We got 5 more rounds left. And I think Ben might be on a mulligan. Yeah, Ben going to put that one back. And we're off to the races. Here we go. Aaron Mesa down to 19. And we'll lead with an Ocelot Pride. Pretty good. Pretty good start here for Ben. Fetching out of planes. If I'm Jake, I'm thinking a Blood Moon might be coming. Ether Vial for Jake. And a pass back. Attack. Down to 19, up to 20. They swap life totals. Ether Hub inbound, going to make a energy. Amped Raptor. Galvanic Discharge. Probably don't want to cast that. Oh, yeah, sure. He's going to use it. Generate an energy, but deal no damage to the Amped Raptor. Heads up there, Ben. That's why you're there and I'm here. Cat going to get made off the Ocelot Pride, pass back to Jake, and already Ben has a pretty menacing board. Obviously still very early in this match. Here is Knight of the White Orchid. He's going to tag his own Flagstone of Tokir. Pretty neat play. He'll get 2 planes. One of them just happens to be a Surveil land. So let's take a look. Almost got to see it. Not quite, though. I don't know if Ben has a Blood Moon, but obviously with Ether Vial, Blood Moon's not going to be as effective as it would be otherwise. And now that Jake has a basic planes, also just makes it even more less appealing. Ben considering his options. Unfortunately, I can't really see his hand all that well. I think there's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker in there, but I'm not all too sure. Regardless, Amped Raptor going to get into the red zone. Phantom's going to block. Arena of Glory. Back to Jake. Going to tick up the Ether Vial, draw his card. Second Ether Vial. And Recruiter the guard. Going to go search up a creature with power or toughness 2 or less. Not too shabby. Sorry, didn't get to see what he grabbed there. Going to Rending Volley that. Recruiter. Still can't quite see Jake's hand and what he got with the Recruiter. Regardless, we'll shove with the dudes, with the kitty cats. Sanctifier Invec. Block. Jake will take 1. Kills Ocelot Pride. Here is Sanctifier Invec. Protection from black and red. When it enters the battlefield, exile all cards that are black or red from all graveyards. And if a black or red permanent spell or card not on the battlefield would be put into the graveyard, exile it instead. Witch Enchanter going to take down the Fable. Pretty interesting game thus far. Amped Raptor. Yeah. Get that Sanctifier out of here, says Ben. Goblin Shaman. Gonna get in there. And here's an Ajani. Gonna bring along a feline friend and pass back. Jake gonna move the Ether Vial up. Plays a land, a mysterious land. Solitude gonna take down a Johnny. And here's a second of Johnny. All right. Shoving with the squad. Gonna make another treasure token. Gonna deal 5 damage. I'm sorry, 7 damage. Yeah, Jake, this is a pretty rough board state for him. Ben's board is only going to grow, too. Especially if Ben can flip. This is a Johnny. Alrighty. Gonna pay the energy to keep the prison in play. Gonna bash. Makes a treasure token. But Jake has responses. Vile and Skyclave. Targeted Johnny. Pretty good, pretty good. Now we'll move to blocks. So Jake's going to take one here. And a lot's going to get cleared off. Ocelot Pride inbound. Has the city's blessing, and here we go. It's going to be hard for Jake to beat, I think. And we're going to sacrifice Sunbait Canyon to draw a card. And Jake just passed back. That's a Lion Sash. Can't quite remember what that one does. Here it is, though. Exile target card from a grave. If it was a permanent spell, or permanent card, put a +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and you can reconfigure for 2. Pretty nifty. Little graveyard tech. Ben's going to get jiggy with it and cast Jingatha. And Arena of Glory, so getting in the red zone. Jake going to vial in a Stone Forge Mystic. Didn't quite see what Jake was able to grab off the Stone Forge. Setting up blocks here. All right. After the dust has settled, Ocelot Pride pass. Sword of Fire and Ice. Gonna get in. Gonna shoot the Ocelot Pride. And pass. Down in 19 goes Ben. All right, use the treasure. Here's a Ragavan. Dashed in. We got a Ragavan trigger. Stoneforge Mystic with the trigger on the stack, I would assume. Zoom. All right, so setting up blocks here. Gonna eat another permanent, grow the Lion Sash. Trade all across the board. We've had 2 or 3 straight turns where a lot of creatures are dying. And here we go. Jump block with the token. Batter Skull. Inbound. And Frost token back. That is a germ. But Jake's got the card advantage and board advantage at this point. Just a pass back into the turn. Phantom of the White Orchid going to come in. Tag Arena of Glory. That's pretty good. No shenanigans. Going to grab a mountain. So we're getting in there. Down to 5, up to 11. Draw a card, Giver of Runes. All right, there you go. Ben is going to extend the hand. Jake going to improve to 4-0. Can probably, I would imagine, just draw into top 8. So congrats, Jake. Ben going to fall to 3-1. His top 8 chances are still very, very real. Hey, thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Les Alex, and we are streaming to you again from Impact Gaming Center in the fabulous Fairview Heights, Illinois. About 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis. So if you're in the area, come on out. We'd love to have you. We've got 2 more rounds of Swiss and then the top 8. So stay around if you're watching on Twitch. If you are not, and you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon, and put it to all so you don't miss out on great content like this. Thank you all so much. Make sure to check out impactgamingcenter.gg for all of your Magic the Gathering and tabletop gaming needs. We appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to click on one of these because I guarantee you'll like it. And if you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned for more RCQ action. Until the next round, until the next video, catch y'all on the flippy flop. Adios.